Hi everybody, this is Renita, also known as Teachable Resource for Learners. I wanted to create a video today because a lot of us are getting ready to go back to school virtually. When we're going back to school virtually, this is one piece that I personally did not think about when we were doing virtual learning from March to May. Rewards and incentives for virtual learning. So today's video is going to be about rewards and incentives for virtual learning. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe at the bottom and like it and leave a positive comment. So let's get started. Rewards and incentives for virtual learning. These are free and low-cost options that can be used when you are teaching in a virtual learning experience. Schooling outside the classroom due to COVID-19. Using rewards and incentives will help keep the students on task, will help keep them focused, it will increase your participation, and it will help with your engagement doing virtual learning. Once we go back to the classroom, some of these incentives and rewards can be used there. So let's get started with the rewards and incentives that you can use. How to reward students. You can reward your students as individuals or you can reward them as a class. These are just some of the ideas that I came up with, but you can add to this, and I'm sure you have some more that you could use. If you have some more ideas that how we could use them, please put them in the comments below. So some of the ones I came up with were present for virtual meetings, on time for virtual meetings. You completed all of the work and you turned it in by the due date or the time. You have your supplies that you need at the virtual meeting. This year, I am requiring my students to bring their needed supplies with them because I'm also providing them with goodie bags through a grant from Donors Choose, where I ask for supplies for virtual learning. So that's something that you could do if you haven't thought about how am I going to get the supplies and you don't want to spend your money. So Donors Choose is a good way to get the supplies that you need. Or you can also use Adopt a Classroom. Leave the meeting immediately, encouraging others in the meeting. You're supportive and you're helping a peer. You're asking questions during the meetings. That's that participation point. Log into the website when required. Like if you're requiring your students to read on Epic, you can go in and check and see did they log in like they were directed to. If they did, they can get a point for that. Completed online website assignments by the due date. So those are just some that you can do for individuals. For a class, all of these are based on 100% participations. Students logged into the virtual meeting on time. Students turn work in by the due date. Students log into the required website. 100% attendance online is different than meeting on time. Students turn in a math assignment. It could be a reading assignment. It could be whatever kind of assignment you want. Students complete the get to know you activity. Students remember password by assigned date. Students remember username by assigned date. Because these students are students that we have not seen before, so we need to make sure that they use and know their password and username. This right here is a list of all of the rewards and incentives that I thought of that you could use. This is all on one page. So you could use this to go over what rewards and incentives you want your students to have at the beginning of the year, starting on your first day of virtual learning. So let's go over all of the rewards and incentives. Wear cool sunglasses on camera. Students put sunglasses on and they can wear them. Hat day on camera. Spirit day on. Choose the teacher's virtual background from a list. This right here is a critical piece for the students and the teachers, because some students come from different kind of home situations. We don't want to put anybody on Front Street. We don't want to embarrass anybody. So that might be something that we teach the students at the very beginning, how to change their virtual background. And we might also supply them with the virtual background. It might say Miss So-and-so's class 2021 school year, Mr. So-and-so's class 2021 school year, or you might just put the grade. So that's just an idea to provide them with a virtual background that they could use. But we also are going to have to teach them how to change their background. So if this is one sentence you pick, choose the teacher's virtual background from a list, you need to have several backgrounds that they can choose from. Chat and chew with the teacher. Basically, that's just have a snack with the teacher. And you can assign that. Students can sign up for that award, or you can just pick a day and a time and you have a student. This could be one-on-one. It could be two-on-one, meaning two students, one teacher, however you choose to design this reward. Lunch with a friend in a breakout room. You could set up a breakout room where the student, if they pick this, they can pick what student they want to eat with, and you can set the timer in a breakout room, and that's how much time they have to eat together. Good practice. I would go in and out just to check on them and make sure they're being appropriate. But if this is one that you choose, you need to make sure the students know the expectations or the norms before it's implemented. Lunch with the teacher in a breakout room. That means the students will have lunch with you in a breakout room for a designated amount of time. Show and tell. The students can have show and tell. They can show and tell whatever they want. I recommend that you set a time limit. Comedy minute. Tell jokes and riddles from the riddle box. You can find jokes and riddles online. You can cut them out into strips, put them in some kind of container, label it riddle box, and if a child picks this as their incentive or reward, you can just pull out and read jokes and riddles for a minute or two. Listen to music from a teacher-created playlist. You can create your own playlist, or you can find one on YouTube, or you might already have one that you can use so they can listen to music for however long you pick. Digital rewards sent to email. Let's say a student received 100% on a math assignment. You could send them a reward in the mail, or you can send it by email. Rewards sent by snail. Shout out to parents by email. Your child turned in all of their work today. Your child did a great job participating today. Your child helped a child who was struggling with how to sign on to a website, and they helped them. So you can send a shout out to the parents to let them know how their child is doing virtual learning. This is also a good way to foster that home school connection virtual. Shout out to students by email. You can send the same shout out to the students and they will read it, because students like to receive email. Shout out to students by snail mail. You could put something in the mail to them. Now, if you're going to send something by mail, this is just a suggestion. A postcard is 35 cents and it's cheaper than an envelope. Again, this is Renita from Teachable Resourceful Learners, and I believe in being resourceful. Shout out to students on virtual meetings. You can give a shout out during your virtual meeting. Virtual lunch bunch. This works like this. When I do this in the regular brick and mortar classroom, let's say if you had 85% dojo points, which are behavior points from Class Dojo, for the month, you get to eat lunch with the teacher. So it would be the same thing in virtual. The kids bring their lunch. You have a designated lunchtime with them, and it's just called lunch bunch. Email awards to students. Receive Class Dojo points on Class Dojo. This might be something that you want to implement. Class Dojo is free. You can communicate with the parents. You can track behavior points, positive and negative, for doing virtual learning. I will concentrate more on the positive than the negative, so you can give them points for whatever you deem important doing virtual learning. Fun Friday activity. You could have Fun Friday, maybe on Fridays for 90 minutes, you have an activity. Your activity can be whatever you wanted to do. On Fun Fridays, I used to do Kahoot challenges, virtual field trips. I also used to use Mystery Doug. They could watch the video because those are 3 things that they really enjoy doing. So that would be their Fun Friday activity. How did you participate? If you met all the requirements for the week, all of your assignments were completed and turned in, you did the Fun Friday activity. But what about the students who did not do it? They spent that time completing their work, because depending on what platform you use, you can send Fun Friday out to the children who earn that. It doesn't have to go to everybody. Gum day. Let the children chew gum. They're at home. So gum day. And it's not costing you anything. Planned pajama day. Students wear pajamas online. No homework pass. Missing a hoodie day. Students like to wear hoodies. Let them wear a hoodie online one day. Now, these particular ones right here are some that cost some money. The cost is going to depend on each educator's budget. Goodie bag, or pick an item from the goodie bag, and it's delivered by the teacher. So if you want to, you could deliver a goodie bag to the student. What's in a goodie bag? Whatever you think the student would like. What do you put in your own goodie bag? Whatever you think your students are going to like. It might be some pretty pencils, pens, it could be a Rubik's Cube, it could be fruit snacks, it could be whatever you think your students might like. It might even be a set of earbuds from the Dollar Tree, because everything there is $1. So it's up to you what you want to put in this goodie bag. It might be school supplies, crayons, color pencils, markers, whatever you come up with. Might even be hand sanitizer. Gift card to a local business. The price, the amount, the denomination will be up to each individual person. This year, those students who met the criteria of having 90% or better for their dojo points for the year, I gave them all a $5 gift card to the local ice cream shop. Now, you can make it more than that. It could be less than that, or you might even check into the business and see if they will donate it. DoorDash or Grubhub delivery for lunch. If you know the student likes McDonald's, arrange with McDonald's to do a DoorDash or a Grubhub, and the student will have lunch on you for whatever reason you choose. Pizza delivery to students' home. If you're going to have a meal delivered to the student's home, because you also could do breakfast, lunch, or dinner, is your choice, I will make sure to discuss that with the parent and let them know to expect a delivery and why the delivery is coming. Principal pop in a virtual meeting again. They can pop in just to say hi. They can pop in for some encouragement. They can just pop in to give a shout out. You can even have the principal pop in to give an award to a student. So the principal pop in is also a good way for the principal to build relationships with the students. If it's not the principal, it might be the counselor. It could be any staff member that you choose, because again, we're trying to build relationships and keep that engagement up during our virtual learning. A yard sign. You can also do a do-it-yourself. Well, how would you do the yard sign? You can make yours on the computer, laminate it, use a paint stirrer or thick craft sticks, or you can purchase the blank ones that they have at your local hardware store like Lowe's or Home Depot, True Value, or Ace, and you can use permanent markers to design the sign and then deliver it to the student. Or you can order them from places like Vistaprint, Staples, or Office Depot. So you just have to figure out which yard sign idea is going to work best for your budget if this is something that you choose to use. These are just ideas that you can use on how you want to reward and have incentives for your students at the beginning of the year for virtual learning. I will go over my incentives the first day of school, second day of school, third day of school. If we're working on a group reward, I will have the students pick which one they want to work on. For the very first one to do, I would try to make it easy, meaning like if you do this for 4 days, you get this, because you want them to be successful. And then over time, you can start stretching out the days or the weeks that they would do it. But the individual rewards, I would start rewarding them on day one, and it might just be through praise. If you think about the rewards, there are a lot of rewards that are no cost. Some of you might be like, well, I don't believe that I should reward my students or like that. Hey, we're living in different times now. Everyone needs some encouragement. They need some praise. They need some support. And by a lot of these being no cost, it's not costing you anything, because we have to figure out what are we going to do to keep the students engaged and participating for 9 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, however long your teaching period might be for virtual learning. Again, I'm Renita of Teachable Resourceful Learners. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up to like it, leave a comment. Leave a comment if you have more ideas for incentives, or if you have more ideas of how we can acknowledge students for their awesome participation online. If you like this video, you can go over to my TPT store, Teachable Resourceful Learners, and you can find it in my Teachable Resourceful Learners store, and that resource will be $2. And here are other resources you might like to help you have a successful virtual learning or traditional classroom experience. Again, I'm Renita of Teachable Resourceful Learners. Have a great day.